Hello world, welcome to another one of my videos. We're being adults again and doing another episode of adulting with my friend Annie. We go back real tight into high school all the way back to 7th grade, so she was a natural person to go to next to interview you. She is an awesome human being, and I wish everyone knew her, so I'm going to give you a chance to do that. But I think she's going to give lots of amazing advice, so we're just going to get into this interview here.
Thank you. You're an awesome human being too.
Thanks, pal. What are the pros and cons of being your age?
Okay, the pros and cons of being 23. I'd say the pros are certainly just being an adult, you can really make your own choices, and you have to make your own choices.
Mm-hmm.
You are expected to be independent and to be self-sufficient, and people treat you with respect when they see you doing that, which is different when you're a teenager or a child. Some cons of being 23. You don't have a map
Very true.
of what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
There are a lot of instances where things happen and you're like, what the F? Like, what just happened?
And that's not very fun. Okay.
Yeah, it could be challenging.
Yeah, definitely. Now, how do you deal with the stress of being your age or being kind of an adult?
Mm-hmm. Well, there are a lot of ways. Number one, goal setting and trying to stay focused. Having that focus really blocks out a lot of other things in your life that could potentially be stressful and cause you harm in an abundance of ways. Another thing, meditation and prayer are very important to remaining cool-headed or when things do happen that you don't expect or that you don't know how to deal with. Like, they are my go-to practices to continue forward successfully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, a little side note about Miss Annie here. That's what a lot of our conversations revolve around, and she is an amazing and motivational person, so goal setting is like Annie's good thing, so.
Oh my goodness. You're great.
Oh, thanks.
I'm trying to see, what is Martina's good thing? Being really encouraging, super encouraging is always there, ever present.
I like that. I try to be, anyways.
You succeed.
Yeah, I feel like we're always trying to, like, not one-up each other. We're always, like, encouraging each other. And we're like, no.
What
we're
would
just,
be
like, constantly
anti-wanting up, like, yeah, it's like, it's not a competition.
bouncing off of each other.
It's a team, yeah. Working towards each other's greatest good.
Yeah. So get around us and you'll be real happy.
Moral of the story.
Yes.
Be friends with us.
Yeah, we need friends, please. Okay, so Annie's also really good at finances, so this is a great question to listen, tune in. She's gonna have good advice, okay? How do you budget and finance, and what are your priorities when you do that?
Mm-hmm. That's a really great question. I'm glad you asked, because it's something that many people, I'd say the vast majority of people, don't know anything about at all.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be surprised to see how many people don't budget their money or their time, and that's just it's hard to really live your dreams when you're not doing that. It's impossible to really live your dreams if you're not budgeting your money and your time. So how do I budget? When it comes to priorities, first you have your needs, but not only your needs, but also those things that are essential to you accomplishing your goals. Like, you have to put that in there, because if you don't, everything else, every other distraction that comes up is going to knock you off your path. It's really simple. I like to read a lot of personal finance books. Personally, I'm a Cancer, and Cancerians are known for being interested in how money works and accumulating money and things like that. So I read a lot of books on wealth building and successful financial mindsets and things like that, and I recommend that you do too. But one of the most important lessons that I've learned is that you have to use money as a tool to accomplish your goals and to live a joyful life. And so many people have this misconstrued message of what money is, that it's evil, or that it is holding you back, or that it's just a route to just waste it all on something that's fun. Not that fun isn't important, but if you're using all your money to have fun, you're kind of really missing the point of using it as a tool for growth.
Yeah. Well, and like I think definitely living in our society, that's like our society is run on, you kind of have to know how to use money. Like there's some societies where it's very free and open and you don't really, use money. I definitely don't think you should let it get you down, but I think you really like nailed that one, I think.
Yeah, you have to be strategic about how you're using it. In our society, especially with all the distractions, like we live in a culture where it's encouraged that you go out and spend, and all of these frivolous things. So
don't do it,
so don't do it.
Like, is there any, and I don't know if you hit on this, but is there like anything, like when you sit down to do a budget, is there anything like on your mind that you're like, all right, I need to prioritize this in the budget?
Yeah, that's a great question. The first thing is always like your needs. Obviously, if you don't have that covered, you're not a self-sufficient person, and that's really hard on you emotionally and financially. So the first thing, like your rent and your other bills, your electric bills, so on and so forth. That's always first, and then secondary, and also they any personal finance book you're going to read is going to talk about paying yourself first. That's saving back money, and then everyone's going to do it a little bit differently, but saving back money to put in a savings account, saving back money to invest, and saving money to donate or to contribute to other people, to give, to help other people in a way that doesn't serve you. It solely serves other people. Paying yourself first. Like, if you don't do this first, then you will inevitably spend all your money on other things. So it's really important that, and most people will recommend that you just do it automatically, like you automatically have it taken out of your checking account when your check comes in, and things like that. It's easier when you don't see that, when you don't see it, when you don't have to touch it and put it somewhere else. But if you're really committed to it and you have self-discipline, then it's something that you can totally do. Like, I'm very hands-on about my finances, so I don't have it like automatically set up like that. But it's really amazing because when you do pay yourself first, like, your savings just kind of, they build up, and like it builds up so much in a short time that you don't expect it to, and then you have that there for you when something goes wrong, and like you have to get, with something. Car problems is a good one. Like, I had a flat tire and I needed to get new tires, and it was like $200, and it was like, thank goodness that money was there, because otherwise I would have been screwed. Or, it gives you a really solid feeling of confidence within yourself when you know that that you're taken care of. You're not always worrying about money because you've got it there for when there's an emergency, or you're investing it to make your future better, to make yourself wealthier, or you're giving it away to other people. And just doing that is just giving it to somebody else. Even the small act of going online and donating $30 or $50 or $5 just makes you feel really good. And every time that you look back on that, you see the confirmation that you donated that, or you see the receipt for it, or any situation that you might see it again, you always feel really good.
I like that. That's really good. Yeah. I feel like I'm just saying the same thing, but that's not something I really thought much about, as far as like, okay, we can like set aside this amount to donate. I just kind of like I said, I kind of see causes. I'm like, oh, and I'll give a little bit here and there, but I didn't think about that. That's good.
Yeah, like definitely. What is it? There's a, how do they call it? The law of, I can't remember, like cause and effect or something. When you give money away, you're basically asking the universe to give you more money. Is what it is. Like, people say, anything that you want to receive, you have to give. If you want love, or if you want joy, or if you want friendship, you have to give that first, and then it's going to come back to you. And money, it's the same thing.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, I like that. Good. I told y'all.
Oh my goodness.
I don't live in Indiana. Why would I say y'all?
Y'all.
No. Okay, what is a major goal in your life right now, or the major goal you're really focusing on, and why is it so?
So the major overarching goal in my life for several years, and it kind of seems like this is a general goal, so it's not very specific, but it's something that I always strive for, and when I get off-centered, then I can always go back to it, and it helps me continue forward. Mm-hmm. And that would be to dedicate or commit my life to contributing to others. I think it's a great goal for a lot of reasons. Mm-hmm. It makes you really happy. It's fulfilling is probably the biggest reason. And when you get down to it, it's your purpose. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's what will drive you to do the things you do.
Yeah, definitely.
What are your thoughts or feelings on higher education?
I'm really glad you asked this, because one way that Martina and I really differ in our life path, I mean, besides everything else, is that she's gone to college and had a unique experience with that, and I didn't go to college and have also had a unique experience with that. Actually, I did college online for a short while, and it just was not for me. So my thoughts on higher education, I think it can be a really great tool, especially for kids that are not aware of themselves, which is most people. I think that higher education can bring you into yourself and help you learn yourself better. That being said, and also to learn about a specific subject that you wish to use later in your life or right now. And there are also a lot of resources that you have, people that are focused on doing the same things as you are, and then just the resources that the school provides, like
access to like a library,
yeah,
things like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Free printing, or cheap printing.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, or like sports facilities or and things like that, and sports teams. On the other side of that, there's just as much opportunity to have every single other one of those experiences learning on your own. Mm-hmm. Yeah, being a very independent person, I feel like it is ultimately better for me that I didn't go to college. I tend to be really competitive, so it's there's less pressure to try and beat somebody else, get a higher grade than someone else or something like that. You can just work solely on what you want to do. And something that's I think is a disadvantage of learning in a school system is that you, for the most part, you can't choose what you're studying, and most of what you're studying probably isn't very applicable to anything you're ever going to do in your life. However, self-study is different because you choose exactly what you want to watch or read or listen to, and you also choose what you're going to do with that while you're watching or reading or listening to it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You can, and that's kind of, Peyton and I were actually talking about this the other day. When you're motivated on your own, you get to do all that. You get to find those resources, which is a good skill to have in life.
You just read my mind.
Yeah, you find the resources. You get to be like, well, what do I want to get out of this? How do I want to make all this information come together for my betterment in life, and how am I going to do that? You know, which is like the story of Annie. Like that's. I'm like way out of frame, but
that's on it.
That's like what that's Annie and mine's friendship. What she really offers is a lot of that, really helping me with that. And she didn't have to go to school to do that. You know, I spent several years doing that, and it helped me. But you don't have to, folks. Right here, this could be you.
Oh, that's good. I love that point about like you're just given the resources when you go there, like. And so many other instances in life that's just not going to be the case.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you go to your first job out of college or what have you, you may have like the intellectual resources to do what you're doing, but you're going to be in a situation where you are expected to kind of pave your own way, which is different than the college scene, because everything is like structured to help you. When you go and you get a job like at a corporate place or in sales or something, like people don't spoon feed you, and I don't mean to like put you down or any way or disrespect like your education, but like you have to go and you have to learn things that you don't even know you're supposed to be learning.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's no map.
Yeah, exactly. Back to your no map point. Yeah. No, I definitely agree. I don't think, and this is just my experience, but I don't feel like that's something I was taught. I think I was taught the knowledge and like, here's what generally you're supposed to know, but not. And then it was like, well, go out and get your experience. But it's kind of like college should be helping you, like, get that. Well, not that they don't help you like create opportunities, but like it should be a lot more hands-on, I feel like.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
But
I'd agree with that. I think that's, in general, the education system is very much flawed in that way. What is it, Montessori schools?
yes, Peyton's really into that.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Where you just take the talents of the kids and develop that child. You're not trying to create a mass army of kids that can pass this test.
And just kind of go down the conveyor belt of life and et cetera.
Because life isn't a conveyor belt, and it shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be treated that way.
Absolutely. Totes.
Tits. My goats.
Totes my goats. All right, here's a good question. So Annie and I knew each other all throughout high school. Okay, so what advice would you give Annie in high school or other kids that are in high school?